sweet love surrounds me now. Love is the only truth. I choose love right now. Love is always with me. Love is always with me. Love is who I am. It's where I stand. Love is always with me. Love is always where I stand. Love is who I am. Love is who I am. Love, sweet love, surrounds me now. Love comes through. Love, sweet love, surrounds me now. Love is the only truth. Love is the only truth.
Love as the self-givingness of spirit, right?
Yes.
I laugh when I say that because you and I were just having that conversation earlier, and right now, just having Travis having a little moment of getting us live on YouTube, which he's done. He took the problem and converted it into a solution, and so with that said, it's now we're live on YouTube. So I was tuning into the energy of love.
There you go.
Oh. Amy
Love
Steinberg,
is-
hello.
Hello. And I have written in front of me, life's one vital energy.
That's
Keith
it.
Cox. So tuning into that, the YouTube pops up, right?
Yes, it did. It did.
I'm so happy to be with you.
So happy to have you here with us. So see you in just a moment. So good morning, everyone, if you're joining us live in the morning world. And if not, wherever you may be, let's just all know that as my shirt with purpose says today is a good day for a good day. And I wore that intentionally today so that we can all remember that today is a good day for a good day, meaning that we all have the ability to make a choice in how we experience life and make a decision as to what state of mind we want to tune into, the vibrational frequency of life itself, which, is imbued with the qualities of peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom. So I welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles in our Sunday morning celebration service. And so let's all know that we are in the perfect place right now, connecting to the energy of the divine and letting it resonate through our being. And so namaste to you. I'm going to put on the screen our opening slides as we move into that. We're going to just kind of roll very organically today. So let's know that all is well in our world. We are the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, where our mission statement is supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. I trust for all of us today that that is indeed what is unfolding for all of us, that awakening. In our philosophy, faith, and way of life, known as the science of mind, a spiritual awakening is the remembrance that we are one with the sea of consciousness in life, and that we navigate life through that spiritual awakening. And so we welcome one and we welcome all to this moment together. And we engage in the act of namaste. Namaste in its most traditional meaning as I bow to thee. And it's also known as the spirit in me salutes that within you. And so I invite us all, no matter what's going on in the world of experience, chaotically or calm or peace, to take a deep breath in and exhale together, putting our hands together in prayer position if that feels comfortable for you. And remembering the energy of our interconnectedness, and bow forward and say together, namaste. The divine in me honors and acknowledges that in you. We are a community that welcomes all races, all religions, all countries of origins, all genders, all sexual orientations, all abilities. We stand with you and want you to know that you are safe here, both in our virtual space and when we are physically together. And that just as Ernest Holmes says, Spirit has placed the stamp of individuality upon itself and called it you. We welcome one and we welcome all. We are a community that comes together to primarily teach the philosophy, faith, and way of life known as the science of mind. The science of mind is a belief system, if you will, that is focused on, we experience life relative to our belief systems. And so some of the fundamental foundational components of the teaching is that there's oneness that permeates all of life itself. And because we're individualized expressions of that oneness, and we have the ability to think for ourselves, it's through that thinking that we curate and create a state of mind. And it's that state of mind that shows up in our world as experience and effect. And that should we desire to have a different experience or effect in life, then our role is to change our thinking. And that sometimes that seems really abstract and wild and almost an impossibility, while at the same time we understand it from a very practical perspective in just this very moment and the moments I had with us all just a moment ago of when something shows up in life that seems to be out of the norm of what is expected, that we can either move into that state of chaos and awkwardness, or take a deep breath in and exhale and make a decision to remember that we are peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom, and to then radiate that, and life reflects that, even if it's just for that very moment. And so that is putting into practice supporting individuals, ourselves, and finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. Today, we're going to play in this realm of just changing our thinking. How do we navigate life when it seems to be a little bit chaotic and crazy, knowing that what's going on in the world today is certainly the appearance of that which is significantly less than peaceful. And then to remember that we get to play in the realm to the best of our ability. I'm giggling because what I clicked on to bring music on in that crazy, chaotic, technological times, what played was a voicemail that had just recently been left for me. I have a little heart here that I'm holding in my hand that is a physical, tangible, tactile reminder to let love be present. Not solely as an emotion, although nothing wrong with that, but to open up to life's one vital energy. Let's do that as we move into our ritual of calling in the light, and look onto the screen and see the flickering flame, and hear these words as a guide for us. Calling in the light. Let's let this prayer of calling in the light be a guide for us. Divine Beloved, change me. Change me into someone who can give with complete ease and abundance, knowing you are the unlimited source of all. Let me be an open and easy conduit for your prosperity. Let me trust that all of my own needs are always met in amazing ways, and it's safe to give freely as my heart guides me. And equally, please change me into someone who can feel wildly open to receiving. Let me know my own value, beauty, and worthiness without question, and let me allow others the supreme pleasure of giving to me, and let me feel worthy to receive in every way possible. For I am you, and you are me. We are one, and all is well. As we call in the light and open up to a consciousness of abundance and oneness, let's remember the call and response song, lyrics from the song Calling in the Light, and let this mantra be a guide for us of I am love, When I speak of I am and we say let me, it's just an affirmation of who and what we are, a reminder, if you will, internally. I am love, I am peace, in my heart I am free. I am spirit, I am soul. Altogether, we are whole. Amy's going to come on and take us through the chant, Holy Light. I invite you to hear it and to sing along and to let it be a guide for an embracing and engagement of that which we've shared, the light. And so it is.
So it is.
So Amy. I don't know if we're shared the shared screen up there, and we are on Zoom. I don't know if it's sharing on YouTube or not. But I'm so excited to share this time-space continuum with you right now. And we are going to have some fun today. I know you're going to sing us a song first before we do that, but just checking in with you on the energy of all of the wonderment and the colors and the life that's going on around your shoulders and in your room and everywhere. How does that, I know we were talking earlier, it's giving you peace and calm, you said, right?
Yeah, creative expression lately has been I've entered into sort of I go through phases with things, and I've been painting with fabric, and I do it in my basement, and I brought two pieces up with me to surround me in their love, the birds watching over me. I love creating birds. And I just love to create. Creating is it feels like it's the reason why we're here.
It is. And I'm going to say that that's conscious creating, while at the same time I was listening to an interview or an honoring, if you will, a memoriam of Neil Sedaka, either yesterday or today. And he, in his being interviewed, they asked him about what is his feeling about songwriting. And I'm going to paraphrase this, but basically what he said was, it's the connection to God, and then getting out of his own way and letting God work through his mouth and his fingers onto the keyboard and the lyrics. And I just loved it because he has such a unique voice. Clearly, musically, he does, but his speaking voice is a little unique as well, right? So to hear it the way that he was phrasing that with that unique voice was grounding, right? So, and also something that's relatable for those of us that are in the field of opening up and being a conduit, right?
Yeah, it makes me think of that quote. Who said the bloated nothingness? Getting that out of the way to just be a
Right.
channel for that
I think it's Emerson, isn't
highest.
it? Get your bloated nothingness out of the way. Yeah.
Emerson? Was it Emerson?
I think it's Emerson, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. What song
That's
do
what
you
it
want
makes
to
me
sing
think
for
of.
us right now?
Well, I wasn't sure until you said all that. And so now I kind of want to sing a song that I wrote recently.
Go
And
for
it's
it.
called Room of Possibility.
I love
And
it.
it's this idea that in our mind, there's always a place we can go where anything is possible. So
I love it.
I'd love to sing this for you. Imagine yourself standing in the middle of a room where the walls are made of wonder and your heart is like a tiny bloom. You feel that you are everything, but still you want more, as if time is whispering. This is what you're here for. You are here to create, to make something new. You are here to embody God as you. So, what are you longing for? What is calling you to be? Listen for the answer in the room of possibility. Yeah. Listen for the answers in the room of possibility. Yeah. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Only you can know what it is that you got, and you can try to let it rot, but your soul is too smart. It remembers who you are. You are God. You're here to create, to make something new. You are here to embody God as you. So what are you longing for? What is calling you to be? What's calling you, baby? Listen for the answer. Are you listening? Listen for the answer in the room of possibility. Yeah. Listen for the answers in the room of possibility. Anything is possible. That's your part. Anything is possible. Sing it with me. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. One more time, we sing it. You are here to create, to be something new. You are here to embody the goddess as you. So, what are you longing for? What is calling you to be? Listen for the answers. Listen for the answers in the room of possibility. Yeah. Listen for the answers in the room of possibility. Anything is possible. Peace. Anything is possible. Inner peace. Anything is possible. World peace. Anything is possible. Oh, yeah. Anything.
Yes, anything is possible, right? So
Absolutely.
years ago, I studied with this teacher, and I've referenced him a lot lately, named Fred Wilson, and he used to talk about anything is possible within the realm of possibilities. So, so cool for that. So everyone, so we're so excited to have Amy today. We're going to do a fun component relative to our message today, where we're going to have a conversation. If she feels sparked to break into song, she can do that. And as well as because we're living in such unique times today, and our country is now physically engaged in war activities again, and that's turned the world upside down a little bit. And obviously, if you're in tune, as one is in tune with the outside world or the energy of that, it can be unsettling at times. And so I decided today what a perfect opportunity for us to kind of review some of the curriculum that we shared in our most recent class, Living in Crazy Times. And let it be a reminder for us of the power that we're each imbued with as conscious, conscientious beings, living with the opportunity for choice, and to be reminded of our power. So I'm going to open up with this slide and then see where we go from there. So the question was, is it okay to freak out spiritually? The slide to the left in this curriculum that I think of our beloved Reverend Lenore, who loved it so much because she loves birds, but she also likes what it says, is, I just want to live in a world where I don't have to say WTF is wrong with you people every time I leave my house. I set this class up for us to have a 4-part question to let it be a guide for us in life of what am I called to be? How do I practice oneness? WTF am I to think? And can I honor all? The part that I want us to remember as we remember we're all on a journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening is to listen to these words. Is it okay to freak out spiritually? Meaning that if you're a spiritually in tune individual as we practice life, is it okay for there to be moments to forget who you are or to feel like you're being a little bit less than the perfection that one thinks you're supposed to be? And here's the answer to that question. Is it okay to freak out spiritually? Yes, it's considered normal and often necessary to freak out or feel intense fear, anxiety, or disorientation during a spiritual, psychological, or existential awakening. This experience, sometimes called a spiritual emergency or dark night of the soul, occurs when your old self-image, beliefs, or worldview are breaking down to make way for a new, more expanded state of consciousness. Now let's just let that piece sink in. When one is tuning in or having a moment of being unsettled or freaking out, what you're really doing is allowing yourself to be the gateway for that which is new to show up. New what? A new perspective, a new state of consciousness, a new level on the map of consciousness, of an awareness of our awareness that we didn't have before, of answering the question, what am I called to be, right? Is that always easier to do? No, but it told us in the first class this: life becomes much lighter when you understand that your job in life isn't to control how others think, act, or feel. Your job is to stay rooted in who you are, to act with integrity, stay devoted to your evolution, and let go of everything that isn't yours to carry. This piece on the right really spoke to a lot in the class of what's called the walk away rule. I'm going to share with us. If you have to question where you stand, walk away. If you're the only one making an effort, walk away. If they disrespect your boundaries, walk away. If you feel drained after seeing them, walk away. If you have to hide your true self, walk away. Walking away is not losing, it is choosing yourself. What that speaks to is consciously being engaged in becoming a conscious evolutionist, making a transcendent way of being and making a leap in consciousness. I love this newer definition of conscious evolution. The path of conscious evolution is about increasing the degree of awareness, increasing that measure of freedom until you're living as the enlightened self that you consciously choose to be, rather than the unenlightened self you have consciously and habitually identified with your entire life. Now, I think it's important to take that in without judging oneself or feeling that that last statement isn't giving you a lash of a whip, that you've habitually identified with your entire life. What it's saying is allow yourself to be called to a higher framework of consciousness, to allow yourself to be called to living from an awareness of a state of mind that reflects your innate divine nature, which is where the peace and the power and the beauty and the joy and the light and the life and the love is. Is there anything coming up for you right now, Amy?
Well, someone had commented on you saying that I was going to be here and saying that they hoped I played their favorite song, I guess from camp. And it's interesting because the walk away piece that you just read and the evolution piece kind of does relate a little bit to this idea of it's a Ricky Byer song. Actually, it's not my song, but I love myself so much so I can love you so much.
Right.
That little chant. So what should I do it for the person in case they're watching?
Sure.
And it just kind of like speaks to this idea like to do that next evolutionary step.
Well, before you do
For
that,
the
I just want you all to hear it as if what Amy's being called to be right now is the conduit for this song, because this song has deep meaning for each one of us, whether we're aware of it or not.
Yeah, this is one that I learned at teen camp, and I just think it sounds like a little bit of almost like something you teach children. And I did teach it to children because I think it's a really important thing to practice. I love myself so much, so I can love you so much, so you can love you so much, so you can start loving me. I love myself so much, so I can love you so much, so you can love you so much, so you can start loving me. I love myself so much, I love, so I can love you so much. You love, so you can love you so much, so you can start loving, loving, loving me. I don't even know if I do this song exactly correct. I've actually never heard Ricky sing it, so I kind of made it my own. I hope it doesn't offend her if she ever hears me sing it. I love myself so much, I love, so I can love you so much. You love, so you can love you so much, so you can start loving me.
You know, that song has such deep meaning for me as well.
Because at camp they would have like someone stand in the middle and circle around, and it was like,
We did. Yeah.
thanks, Olivia.
Yeah. And it has such deep meaning for me, both from the perspective of obviously relatability for the years as teen camp, but also as a mantra for self-expression and self-preservation, right? As we talked about in this class recently, and something I work with in my counseling clients a lot, to be able to say to someone in a room, because I love you, certainly in times of conflict, because I love you and because I love me, I'm going to walk away right now and put myself in a different room, right? So that you don't say, do, or be something that's not conducive to exchanging in a higher vibration, right? So, and sometimes that's hard to do in life if we're in a moment of conflict and chaos, right? I mean, we all know that it's through the conflict and the chaos, the rubbing up against each other, that's where the new can emerge. But because we are conscious beings and have the ability to make choices and see things from a different perspective, by giving us that giving ourselves the permission to have a different perspective, then we can propagate our healing without having to go so dark, if you will. You know, it's Barbara Marx Hubbard says that a conscious evolution, how one becomes a conscious evolutionist is by making a choice to let yourself be guided by your essence and not your ego, right? When we stand in those moments of conflict with the need to be right, then that's an ego activity, not an essence activity, right? And so certainly in this world that we live in today, where there's so much information being thrown at us, right? Like we certainly can be subject to thinking that the chaos is the dominant force in the world, right? Like the conversation you and I were having earlier about the war. How can I, as an individualization of the one, align with that reality and also live in a state of oneness, right? And then also be a conduit for change and love, right? Well, I think the way to do that is to give ourselves permission to have a different perspective. I'm going to put on the screen right now the visuals in class that we use to remind us how to do that. And it's this cute little graphic on the left of the individual that's climbed to the mountain to see the Buddha, right? To ask the Buddha, what's the meaning of reality? And the Buddha or the guru responds and says, nothing is as it seems, my son. And the view of it happening is showing that the mountain is not a real mountain. It's like a movie set, right? So, and the reason I love that is it reminds us that in life, nothing is really as it seems. There's always other perspectives that can be garnered. Albert Einstein had it right when he said, reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one, right? And reality is merely an outward expression of what we have chosen to accept and focus on in the world. But when we turn our thoughts to that which we want to create in our lives, the possibilities are endless. It takes us right back to what we were just addressing, 5 minutes ago about possibility. How do we get into that? Fred Wilson used to say, everything is possible within the realm of possibilities. Meaning I can't create a universe, right? And I can't create the cosmos, but I can create a different state of mind to tune into that which I both intellectually and from a wisdom perspective know is my spiritual truth, which is innately I am one with all that there is. And my innate qualities include peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom. And so if I'm not experiencing those in my life, it's incumbent upon me to choose a different perspective so that I can know that and reflect it. And if I can't do that for myself, then I know that I can reach out to others to do that for me. Barbara Marx Hubbard, the great teacher of conscious evolution, says the great human problem of evil stems from the illusion of separateness. Whenever this illusion is overcome, we behave lovingly to one another. And I love this statement because it's so brainy, right? It's so far-reaching, and yet it's still also very, very, very true. So listening to that for all of us online and on YouTube today, I ask you to kind of go back to the 4 questions here. What am I called to be? Can I experience oneness? Right? What WTF am I to think? And then I don't remember what the 4th one was. It'll come to me in a moment. But let's remember that we are living in unique times. And I've just taken us to this reminder. It's what am I called to be? How do I practice oneness? WTF am I to think, and can I honor all? Let's just agree we're living in crazy times. Well, what is it we're called to do? The great source of resource, AI, says this: living in chaotic or crazy times requires intentional mental, physical, and emotional strategies to maintain sanity and stability. It's interesting, when I heard my word sanity, I for some reason, what popped in my mind was Xanadu. And then Olivia Newton-John. So let's keep going. Key approaches include limiting media consumption, fostering deep connections with others, establishing daily routines, practicing gratitude, and focusing energy on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. Going back to the walking away piece, right? Are you familiar with the Eddie Watkins song, I Walk Away, Amy?
I am. I don't sing it, but it's one of my favorite.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
It's one of
asking
my
you to
favorite
sing it, I'm
songs.
just asking, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no,
the
it
same
made me
concept
immediately
of,
when I saw you have "Walk Away." That was the first thing I thought of
uh-huh.
was Eddie's song.
And what he's reminding us is all of us to walk away and to remember who and what we are, right? We're imbued with life and we're imbued with the energy of love. And I love this other visual where it says, it's not the barks in your life, my student, but the life in your barks. And what I believe that means for us is to take a step back, to remember what we're imbued with, and to ask ourselves, what am I called to be? Not on such a broad scale of, or am I here to change the world? But am I willing to change my thinking, to change my life in this moment, in this moment, in this moment?
I'm
Yeah,
called to sing a little chant that we all
go for it.
know, because what keeps coming up as you're saying all these brilliant things is this idea of surrender, the letting go. And this is one of my favorite chants in the world. It's written by Christy Snow. And if you'd like to sing it with me, it will regulate you immediately. It goes like this. I surrender. I trust, and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I surrender. I trust, and I know. I trust, and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. One more time. I surrender. I trust. I trust, and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love, fall into the arms of love, fall into the arms of love.
The Thank you for that. As you sang that song, what is stirring in me was um, the and let's just thank Christy Snow for that song as well too. I love Christy Snow. I miss her. Um, but to remember, it's in that moment of choosing to surrender. That surrender is not a state of weakness. It's a state of strength. It's literally turning inward to the trust and faith that is our innate nature, right? And as you were being the conduit for that beautiful, brilliant piece of music that vibrates at such a high frequency, I was looking at the art behind you, and I'm certain, but I'd love to hear you describe the journey of painting like that, because there's so many layers to painting. And I'm sure there are moments when you're like, you start to do something, you're like, oh, where am I going with this? Oh, can I do like, there's all this internal dialogue, and then you surrender to the next internal layer, and then you start being expressive, and then your critical mind probably kicks in again, right? And then you have to surrender to the next layer, which is both experiential for you, the individual, that is also true on the canvas itself, because it's layer upon layer upon layer. Is there anything you'd like to speak to about that as I say
It's
that?
really cool to be painting and to be doing it now for years, to see that it is a skill and a practice. And when I look back at some of my earlier pieces, there's some that hang in my house that I sort of leave there intentionally to see how far I've come. And it really is about the layering. And this piece behind me right here is my last piece that I did. And it's so interesting because I did the fabric first. That was really calling to me to cut the fabric up. I have all this fabric because I've been sewing, and fabric is just so, it just, you can, some of the things in there are velvet and some are, so in person it's just very, it's just, you want to touch it and it sparkles. And then the back was just this sort of gray wash. And I felt like I wanted it to be like cosmic, this cosmic space, like galaxies and universes. It's so funny that you said you can't create a universe. It's like, well, you can't, but you can on a canvas. but, but, and I tried to start it, and it kept being, so the point of me telling you all this is that I Googled it. I watched some tutorials, and I learned, just like when I'm taking, like, I love that you're giving this class, like learn how to direct my thinking, learn how to create my world. And so what I learned about how to make a universe, how to make, it's really, it's layers, and it is letting that layer dry before you go in and mess with it, because acrylic paint is plastic, a lot of it. So if you go in while it's still drying, you wind up scraping it off, which is feels very much like the spiritual journey. Like if you sort of try to advance so quickly, it's like, reminds me of mental equivalence or something like this. Like we have to really believe that we can do it. And one more thing I'll say is that I've been really addicted to the show, the portrait show on the BBC, they paint portraits, and there's like a competition. Oh my gosh, you have to watch it. It's on Prime.
Will.
And it's called Portrait of the Year, I think. And there's like 11 seasons, which is very dangerous because if you get into that, but it's not that kind of a show, because as you watch it, you become inspired, if you're a painter especially. But it's very inspiring, and watching
I'm a
the
closeted
different.
painter.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore. You've just come out. So you're going to love that show then. And my favorite part.
The reason that I got so excited you said that was I was just at this with some very dear friends at this big modern art show, which I love modern art, on Friday here, called Freeze, which is like Art Basel, but in LA. It's just amazing. Just amazing, amazing, amazing. And one of my friends, I kept engaging with either the artist or the gallery people and asking all these questions about the art. And my friend was like, how do you, I mean, he is an art collector. Like he spends the money on it. Like, he was like, how do you know all this stuff? I'm like, first of all, I let my spirit guide me. Also, I go and ask questions, and I let the art speak to me. And so I talk to them about technique, and
Yeah.
It's so fascinating what you're talking about at the back, because there was this one Korean artist that was just incredible. The textures were incredible. He loved it. And I said, there's more to this than meets the eye. So as we're talking to the guy goes, oh, no. These first two layers, he actually applies from the back.
Wow. That's
And then
very
lets it
interesting.
dry, and then does
Yeah.
the other pieces on it, which is how you could get such a unique texture. To bring that back full circle to what we were talking about earlier, was nothing is as it seems.
Oh my God. One thing about this show real quick that aligns with everything that you're saying is that they have, like, let's say 10 painters, and every painter will see it so differently and will apply such a different technique, and something that looks like it's just all one color, or it's, something simple that looks like, oh, I could do that. It took them the full 4
But
hours, right?
That
Their
speaks to what you and I were speaking of earlier about how does one
individuation, right?
appreciate oneness while knowing there's such differentness going on. And I was saying, look at RuPaul's Drag Race, and each drag queen interprets Lady Gaga different, right? So if you're saying the same thing
Yes.
relative to these people painting portraits, I'm so into portraiture right now, so I can't wait to do that.
Oh, you're going to love it.
Good. All right, so I'm going to throw another quote up for us to take take us home on all this. The highest form of intelligence, according to neuroscientist Anil Seth and psychologist Robert Sternberg, isn't logic, speed, or memory. It's metacognition, the ability to think about your own thinking. Your brain literally observes itself, corrects errors, and rewires in real time. Every time you say, wait, why did I react like that? Your neural pathways start shifting. The moment of self-observation is your brain evolving. The reason I wanted us to hear that again today is so that we can become tuned into our awareness of our awareness. That is our objective right now in life, is to do that and know that no matter what's going on in the world, that which we are has not changed. And that if we can let that be the focus with gratitude and spiritual practice while being detached from judging ourselves, then we can open ourselves up to literally being a conscious evolutionist. And to remember that, there's one more piece I want to add to this, and to remember that we are all on this journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. And I want to find this other piece. So and to be gentle with ourselves along the way. That's the key I really want us all to remember. And to open up to experiencing life differently. That's the key. So hold on, I want to do this just 1 second. Stop that. Okay, I want to do this. There we go. I'll be right there, everyone. Give me just 1 second. Okay, here we go. Got all these screens going. How fun is that, right? Here we go. So, the great Socrates addressed this for us, and I love the visual because of Socrates with an iPad and earphones on, right? Here's what Soc says. In order that the mind should see light instead of darkness, so the entire soul must be turned away from this changing world until its eye can learn to contemplate reality and that supreme splendor which we have called the good. Hence, there may well be an art whose aim would be to effect this very thing. What Socrates is telling us is that moment by moment, choice by choice, reaction by reaction, interaction by interaction, our objective is to choose light. To remember to choose light. That the world is going to be changing, and to remember to choose light. Light, both, yes, as that internal guide to take us out of the darkness, but also light, the acronym I have for light, of living in God's healing truth. What that means to me in this moment is just the remembrance. Bring back to me the remembrance of that which I am. Well, what am I? I'm a being of power. I'm one that holds the kinetic cellular components of the cosmos. I'm a mental being that is imbued with choice. And what do I get to choose? To remember that I am peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom, and that I live in a universe that's governed by spiritual law, and it reflects that which I choose to be. So when I choose those components, my experience shows up that way. And then I can shine my light until I get clouded or shrouded in darkness again. And then I go back to what I know. That's really what this is about. That's being the conduit of expressing the artfulness of the creativity that we are as creative beings. And it's never right or wrong. It's just what it is. It's just that remembrance. Amy? What did I shake up?
mean, this song is it. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. I open my heart, even in the dark. The light of my God always shines bright, even in the night. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love. I open my heart this miracle day. The love of my God gives me it all the good I can take. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, yeah. Let me be a vessel of love. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, well, let me be a vessel of love. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love that song. It's the prayer and the ritual earlier was "May I" or "Let there," and 20th century metaphysicians' heads, or science of mind people, their heads would explode if you use words like that, as opposed to the declarative, I am. Because the concept would be when you say "let there" or "let me," you're being beseeching. But really, I disagree. I think it's an affirmation of saying I'm opening, like let me be this, right? Like I'm choosing to be the medium by which the power does its thing. It's like let me. Who's letting me? Me. I'm the one that's letting, and I'm the one opening the channel. Damn it. So
Yeah, let also feels like allow.
Yeah. In my mind, when you just said it's like turning the key in the lock, right? You got to turn the key so you can unlock it to open the gate.
Yeah, like a conscious choice to turn the key
Yeah.
in your consciousness.
Yeah. Well, thank you for shining your light with us today.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure.
Yeah, and so it's always wonderful to have you here. I know you'll be back in just a moment to take us out with "Let There Be Peace on Earth." So thank you. Thank you to all of you for being here today. And we are going through some growing changes with technology and social media. Right now, we have new social media individuals, and Star and Olivia are now guiding us on that path, and we're so excited about that. But there are going to be some bumps in the road, and that's just the nature of life. And I think it's so wonderful that we all get to feel those as it unfolds, and just let it be a perspective for life itself, because that is the reality of life. And to do our best for all of us as we can on this journey of life, of finding our personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, to remember that we're at choice to say, today is a good day for a good day. Good in our teaching is a synonym for God. God is a synonym for Beulah. Beulah is a synonym for the thing itself, meaning it's a power that doesn't change when we change its name, because it's that which is transcendent of the name, and that you and I are imbued with all of its magnificence and glory. And so let peace be your reality. My acronym for peace is Purposeful Energy Activates Conscious Evolution. And I do believe when we align ourselves with this teaching, and we're called to be practitioners of this way of thinking, that what we really desire at the depths of our soul is to be a conscious evolutionist, to let our essence, our divine energy, guide us as opposed to our ego. And that can only happen by being a conscious, awake participant in it to the best of our ability. And so I know that's happening for all of us. Thank you to Amy for being here today. Thank you to Travis for taking on new roles and changing in roles and playing in the field, and when technology throws a curveball, to just kind of catch it and throw it back. So, and to Olivia and Star, and yay to all of us. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. Our newsletter goes out this week. Watch us on social media. There's all kinds of new things happening there. Midweek morning meditation is on Wednesday morning. We new thought texts for the day are still going out, and I'd like to invite you to support us financially. You can do that by going to our website, csl-la.org, or the app in the App Store, Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles. Also, to invite you to put on your calendar March 21st. The great one and only, who I know Amy knows, Jessie Powers, is going to be in town, and she's going to do a concert that's being hosted at Tom and Ramsey's house. And so watch out for information for that, everyone. So it's going to be a great thing. And we're back in person on March 15th. So good's happening by means of each one of us, and thank you for that. So I invite you to close your eyes. I'm going to take us out with a spiritual mind treatment, an affirmative prayer. And then Amy's going to come on, and we're going to sing out with the song, Let There Be Peace on Earth. And so if it's comfortable and safe for you where you are right now, I invite you to close your eyes and tune into the energy of every prayer, affirmative or declarative or beseeching, that you've ever experienced in your life. And then let's each make the decision to declare and know that all of these prayers have healing qualities to them. Healing, in our terminology, means a tuning into and a reflection of the oneness of life itself. It's that place within all of us that wholeness and perfection and completeness is. By tuning into it and calling upon it, it shows up in our being in a new way. And so we allow ourselves to feel that and to have a new perspective on it, while simultaneously being detached from how it manifests in our world, while simultaneously knowing and affirming it is manifesting in our world, humanifesting. And so going forward, we believe that all that has transpired and been shared today has made an imprint in our soul. We know what that is. We can imagine a footprint on the beach or in Mother Earth. Mother Earth and the sand takes that footprint and absorbs the energy of it while it changes molecularly, but its essence never changes. That's how the energy of the divine is with each one of us, and our tuning into that which is its reflection, which is what has transpired today. And so we let that imprint into our soul take root, knowing that wisdom and grace has made itself known in a new way today. And then we declare for ourselves that we're going to then pay that forward from the perspective of being it to the best of our ability. Knowing that with every thought and interaction and reaction and action, we're radiating and emanating energy. And to the best of our ability, the energy that we emit is that which is reflective of our divine nature, the highest energy possible. And then we make covenant and commitment with ourselves to the best of our ability to be gentle, to be kind, to be loving, and to be forgiving with ourselves and others as we stay awake and alert and alive as best we can on this journey of finding personal self-empowerment through spiritual awakenings. And so as we sing together in closing out this service today, let there be peace on earth, let it begin with me, we hear those words, let it, as the gateway to an alignment. And we trust that this song too, every time it's been sung or heard, just the other day I had it on a loop on a playlist with Alexa in my kitchen as I was cooking. Every time that energy makes a shift of reflecting its innate nature, let there be peace, purposeful energy activates conscious evolution. And let it begin with me. Me, yes, Keith, but me, each one of us. We let it be, and so it is. Thank you. Amy's going to come on and take us out.
You have the best acronyms of all. So good. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin